Welcome back, guys. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025 Part 1, and of course this is battle number 43. We're getting very close to the end of this competition, and we are only remaining with about 3 of these matches left. Our opponent here is going to come in with a Farigiraf and an Ursaluna, and of course we've got Zebstrika and our Amoonguss. Now, more than likely, the Farigiraf is likely going to go for the whole Trick Room scenario, which means that Ursaluna will be able to attack first. Zebstrika, of course, we're going to go in for the Terrestrial change into the Grass type, and of course we're going to try to do the whole redirect with the Amoonguss, and hopefully we'll be able to do some damage off onto this Ursaluna before it ends up going for like a Hyper Voice or a Bloodmoon at some time. We do usually end up bringing in like Tauros and things like that too, but of course it won't really help us here in this situation. But here we go, we're going to go in for the Tera change into the Grass typing in hopes to be able to resist any kind of ground type move that may or may not be coming in. Like I said, it could be a Hyper Voice, could be a Bloodmoon as well, you just never know when it comes to Ursaluna. So here we go with the Rage Powder, redirecting all moves into the Amoonguss, and it looks like we are actually going to be able to pull off a Tera Blast right away, which is fantastic. We're going to get that boosted move right into that Ursaluna. Unfortunately not able to take it out, even though we have a Life Orb. The Psychic move, of course, coming into the Amoonguss, and that takes us down to about half the HP. But it is going to be able to activate our Citrus Berry, which means that we're going to regain our health back to about 154, just over half. Here comes in the Hyper Voice, and of course Hyper Voice actually ends up ripping Zebstrika a new one, and picking up the KO, unfortunately. This is not looking good for the team that I've got, but it looks like the Ursaluna is going to be Life Orbed. So it is going to lose a little bit of HP as we go. Now, I do manage to bring in the Maushold here. Now, the reason I brought Maushold in is because it is a faster Pokemon than what I would have with, I believe, Tauros. So we're going to go in for the Population Bomb, and of course we're going to go in for the Sludge Bomb into the Ursaluna to try to be able to pick up that KO. They're going to withdraw the Ursaluna, and they're going to bring in another Pokemon. It looks like it's going to be an Amoonguss as well, maybe potentially even trying to go for the whole Rage Powder situation. We're going to go in for the Population Bomb into the Farigiraf, and of course that is going to be able to do quite a bit of damage as long as we can get 10 times in a row. I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to pick up the KO here in this situation, but you just never know how many times we're going to be able to hit this Pokemon. It looks like we did hit the maximum of 10, and unfortunately the Psychic is going to be able to pick up the KO off onto the Amoonguss, taking us down by another Pokemon. Currently right now we're down by 2 Pokemon, and our opponent has not had any Pokemon faint at this time. We're going to come in here with our Tauros here next, and of course that's going to be able to pick up the Intimidate off onto the 2 opposing Pokemon. Not really going to be able to do anything, of course. These Pokemon are usually special attackers. We're going to come in here with the Population Bomb. We're deciding onto the Farigiraf, and of course if we actually did end up going for the Raging Bull, we might be able to pick up the Amoonguss. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of a difficulty trying to figure out, well, am I going to go for the Farigiraf or the Amoonguss? Are we going to go for the Bite? Pretty much at this point, I decided to go for the Bite because of the whole redirect with the Rage Powder. If we actually ended up going in for the whole Population Bomb, we might have actually lost our Maushold, so we got to keep that in mind. Here we go with the Raging Bull. That's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage to Amoonguss. Unfortunately, not enough to be able to pick up the knockout. And there is the Trick Room. Now, Trick Room, of course, makes slower Pokemon faster and faster Pokemon slower, basically changing the way that the game is played. And of course, that kind of puts us into a bit of a pickle here, because if they end up going in for the Rage Powder, it means that's going to redirect everything into that, but they end up actually going for the Spore. That actually puts our Maushold to sleep. And of course, here is the Psychic coming in from the Farigiraf into the Tauros, unfortunately being able to pick up the KO. So right now, as it is, we are down by 3 Pokemon. We only have 1 Pokemon remaining, and of course our opponent has a full team of 4. Not really looking good for our sleeping Maushold here. So here we go, we're going to go for the Bite into the Farigiraf, because obviously if we get redirected into the Amoonguss, we don't want to get Population Bomb 10 times into it, because we're just going to get knocked down. Again, not looking really good. I'm pretty sure that the Rocky Helmet kind of has us up against a wall here at this point. They're going to go in for the Pollen Puff, and that's going to basically regain some health back to the Farigiraf, almost to being full. Here's the Hyper Voice being able to hit onto the Maushold, almost knocking us out. And of course, it looks like they also have a Throat Spray, which is going to be able to boost up the special attack of the Farigiraf. Now, if I were on the opposing side, I would probably Rage Powder and try to redirect, so that way we get knocked out by the Rocky Helmet, but I'm actually going to end up forfeiting here because there's really nothing else that I can do. But if you guys enjoyed the battle, you guys know what to do. Post your comments, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.